morning and welcome to Behind a Dirty Windshield, episode number 2. Jack and I are on our way to go check out a possible hiking site nearby. That's what we do with our other channel, The Wayward Walker. You can check that on YouTube if you'd like to. But I am enjoying my first week of retirement. So let me turn you around, because you don't really want to look at me. I don't want to look at me either. So give me a second. We're in Charlton, driving up Stafford Street, which is the old Stafford Turnpike, which is kind of a historical road. I like those things. It's kind of raining on the other side of the dirty windshield this morning. Anyway, as I said, we're on our first official week of our second official retirement. I just started thinking, I started working probably when I was 14 or so. Well, yeah, that's probably about right. When I officially started working. And I've pretty much worked every day since. Not every day, but so it's a long time. About 50, maybe 60 years almost. Anyway, so I started at 14, and by 15 I was wondering what I was going to do when I retired. Because I was going to retire for the last 60 or so years. But anyway, now that it's come, I'm wondering what I'm going to do with my retirement. Retiring. I was retired. But one thing I certainly plan to do is do a lot of being out in the woods with Jack, hiking. And who knows? I don't know what else. Maybe I'll just record videos. But I think back, wasn't I start feeling old? Because I do think of all those years of work and places I've worked, and people I've known, and things I've done. I've actually done quite a lot. Never made a big, earth-shattering, life-changing discovery of any kind, or anything like that. But I've done some interesting things. At least I think so. Made a difference in some places. Some places I wish I could go back and do things over. But anyway, now that I'm retired, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. What I think I'm going to do. So this is a word for those of you who are getting ready to retire, even if you're only 16. Really is a good idea to get some kind of a hobby or something that you can do. I never really had any hobbies until the last couple of years, where I've been doing a lot of this walking and hiking and stuff. That's become my hobby. But other than that, I never really had any kind of hobbies, because I was always too busy working. So, like for example, my brother-in-law has an old truck, a couple old trucks he'd take us around with, works on and stuff like that. They travel, they do stuff like that. And that's something he's always done, which I wish I had started doing something like that a long time ago. My mechanical stuff in me just don't work. We don't get along. But anyway, I think that's kind of the secret. I suppose I do a lot of reading. That's kind of a hobby. I love history and researching history and going online and finding stuff. So that's my advice to anybody who's going to retire. Have something to do, because there's nothing worse than just sitting home every day waiting to die. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of people do. I think of my father. I think that's what he kind of did after my mom passed away. He just sat sat in his chair, he wouldn't get up and exercise, he wouldn't do anything. You know, tried to get him out even every day if he just walked up to his mailbox. It would have been, you know, something. But he didn't do it. And you know, I get it. You know, he was married to my mother. Oh, let's see, 50 years? I think they were just short of the 50th anniversary, maybe. But, you know, a long time at the same damn moment, as he used to say. But where was I going with this? I don't know. You know, but he just, you know, he didn't have any hobbies. He never had any kind of outside interests. You know, they used to kind of go out for drives and stuff. But at the point he couldn't drive anyway. So he just kind of sat, waited to die. I'm not going to do that. My wife is still working. She'll be working to the end of October unless something happens and she decides to retire a couple of months early. But so right now she's not here. But when she does retire, we're planning on maybe moving. I shouldn't say maybe. Probably, more than likely, moving to warmer climes. See that white stuff on the side of the road? Which is now brown. I'm sick of that. So, and then we're planning on doing things together, hopefully, traveling, visiting our grandchildren, things like that. You know, she wants to get out and walk with me too. And this is really what you have to do. I really believe that. Because otherwise, like I said, you're going to sit and just waiting to die. And not that dying can be a bad thing. You know, my personal religious views is there's a better world awaiting in the sky. In the sky. No, that's a song. Anyway, so I think that's my thought for the day as I'm behind the. Actually, the windshield's kind of clean today. I gave the truck a bath, which I just desperately needed. Decided today when I got in it, said to Jack, partner over here, just like to remain anonymous, $138,000 on it. We're going to see if we can get it to 200,000. Which one of us will live longer? That's the question. Me or the truck? Anyway, have a great day. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. I don't make any money for these, and I don't really know if I ever will, and it doesn't really bother me. I just do it because I'll talk to myself. Anyway, so that's it for this episode of Behind a Dirty Windshield. Like I said, you can check out my other YouTube channel, Wayward Walker on YouTube, and you can see Jack and I as we go on our adventures and misadventures into the woods. We'll see ya.